Welcome back to Golf Simulator videos. Today I have something really special. What most would consider the benchmark for indoor golf simulation accuracy, the Foresight GC Quad launch monitor has arrived at the GSV studio, and we're going to give you a first look today. As always, I like to give everybody an unboxing just to kind of show how things arrive and what's inside. So let's go ahead and dive right in and let's do it. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe or like the channel, I strongly suggest you do so because there's going to be a ton more content coming your way. I obviously cover all kinds of hardware and software, but now with the GC Quad arriving inside the studio, there's a lot more to come. So I'm going to give you guys a good demonstration today after we do our unboxing here and show you guys maybe the first couple shots inside the FSX 2020 software, which we already have loaded onto our PC. We've been prepping, ready to go, and you'll just have to stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff. So looks like they do a bunch of bubble wrap on the top, and check this out. This is the backpack unit that, you know, the unit comes inside. Obviously nicely wrapped in plastic so it doesn't get worn in shipping. We'll just go ahead and put all of that aside for now. Great. I really like that it comes with this backpack. I mean, I plan on taking this outdoor a lot and showing you guys demonstrations just so you can understand what I got with the unit. I went all out. I wanted to demonstrate and show everybody the full capabilities. So we have the FSX 2020 software. I did the club head add-on and then also the putting analysis add-on. Okay, so everything to demonstrate. I'm assuming there's nothing in this first. No, there is. So this is your first pocket. Obviously you can open or compartment, and it looks like in that first little zip up there, we have our power adapter and we have our USB, which is a USB-C, which is really nice. A lot of people have known Foresight Sports for a long time, actually, since 2010 with the GC2, which introduced stereoscopic cameras, two cameras working as one, okay, in their unit that sat, you know, aside the ball that was portable. Okay, it really revolutionized a lot, and that unit is still being sold today and is still loved by customers. They added on an HMT, the head technology, which made it a quadrascopic unit using 4 cameras, adding club head data onto that GC2 unit. And then in 2017, this bad dog was introduced. This is the GC Quad. The GC Quad operates with 4 cameras, giving it quadrascopic technology. Each camera operating at up to 6,000 frames per second. I'm not going to go into all of the technical jargon today, even though I have been studying it and I am now peak certified in both level 1 and level 2, so I'll be able to share as much information as possible with you guys because I want to have a full understanding of the data that this unit is providing and what's going on with the shots that I'm demonstrating. So I went ahead and already did that. I'm already peak 1 and peak or level 1 and level 2 certified in the peak technology instructional videos and seminars that they do, which is fantastic. Just a wealth of information. I thought it was awesome the way that they, really went into detail to show how the unit operates, and you even got to see demonstrations of the pictures that this thing takes. You have to understand that you're talking about extremely fast shutter speed and extremely high frames per second, as I mentioned, 6,000 frames per second. The shutter speed, okay, that's how fast it can capture each image. All right, and that allows it to not have any blur. All right, so it's capturing the ball and the club in a crystal clear image in 6,000 frames per second. If you look at the images they're capturing of the ball and the club, it was almost hard to believe. I mean, how clear the picture is of the ball is just incredible. And so obviously, seeing that, you can understand the accuracy that this unit is capable of. I'll tell you, I don't know the weight right off the top of my head. I do remember reading it in the brochure. It has some weight to it. I mean, they label this as, you know, the workhorse. I mean, this thing is made to be outside, inside, portable unit. It actually has a flip out bottom right here, kickstand. All right, so you can set it up and not worry about it tilting back. It sits about 22 inches offset from the ball. And the most interesting part is the size of the hitting area. Whether you're using it in ball only mode, ball data only mode, or club mode, regardless, the hitting area is very large, and I'll give you those specifications as we move on. But it's fantastic. I can't wait to get this thing set up. So let's go ahead and let's make sure there's nothing else in here. We obviously have our limited warranty and documentation that it comes with here. All right, instruction manual showing it how to do initial setup, and I can go through those setup parameters with you guys. So that was the main container. I don't think anything should be in the back, but while we're doing the video, let's check. All right, so that is actually a laptop compartment or iPad compartment. That's what that's for. So I mean, this is like an all-purpose, built and suited for the GC Quad backpack. I mean, I'm really excited that it came with this. So here actually on the side are this is the fiducial, what do you want to call it, just, distribution tool. It actually puts out the little stickers that go on the club head. Okay, so there's a roll of stickers in there, these fiducials, and what a fiducial is it basically is a tracker for a camera. All right, in this case, it's a reflective sticker. All right, in layman's terms. So you place those on the club head, and that's what gives this device the ability to precisely measure the club face. All right, and I'll show you more of that as we demonstrate the product. But this is a dispenser, and that's the word I was looking for there for a second. Apologize for that. But this dispenses those fiducial stickers, okay? And that allows those cameras to read the precise measurements on the club, all right? Now, what I found interesting, and I'll share this with you guys now, is that if you want to do ball data only mode, it will use all 4 cameras to track the ball. I mean, you want to talk about the accuracy. I mean, it works perfectly with the club head data as well, but it has the ability to utilize, why not utilize all 4 cameras if you're tracking only the ball. So we'll be using this inside, we'll be using this outside. The most interesting part that I found was a lot of people that I talked to, this being such a benchmark for people for indoor accuracy, a lot of people forget about its outdoor use. So this produces the same data outdoor as it does indoor. All right, they've tested that, they've benchmarked it against other units. You can take this thing to the range, and especially if, let's say, you have a really windy day and it's kind of annoying, you're trying to work on your distances, well, guess what? You can bring this outside and eliminate those environmental factors and still get the proper distance of your ball without that crosswind you might be getting on a practice day. So I thought that was really interesting. I like that a lot. That ability is huge in my opinion. So let's go ahead, get this thing set up, and I'll show you guys the first shots on the Foresight GC Quad. All right, guys, welcome back into the GSV studio. We set up the quad, hit a few shots really quick to make sure everything was all good. We have our FSX 2020 software loaded so I can show you guys some examples, but I wanted to go over a few things really quick. First, I wanted to give you just a close look at the quad itself. All right, I'm gonna bring this up to the camera to show you guys all 4 of the cameras that are in the quad. So you have 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, giving you that quadrascopic technology. All right, 2 sets of stereo cameras. All right, around the back, you have a nice painted back cover with a handle up on top, which is nice for carrying the unit. And then down at the bottom, you have your power, okay, for charging and obviously, hooking up to constant power. But you have USB-C, all right, which is a connection method, and then also Ethernet. Okay, so a couple different ways to connect, but the way I'm going to connect today is actually Wi-Fi, and I'm going to do that because it makes it so clean and neat inside the studio. I think it's amazing. I charge this, all right, and it says it has over 12 hours of battery life left, which is just incredible. I mean, talk about portability at its best, right? So I thought that was a huge feature I wanted to point out, is the ability for this thing to run hours on its built-in battery. So let me go ahead and just show the top here real quick, which is something that I also didn't really think about, okay? This screen, all right, not only do you have touch buttons, but the display screen, which is backlit, if you are using it, you know, in a dark environment, that is all the data that I could really think I'd want out on the range. So I don't even need to bring an iPad or a computer or anything if I don't want to. And I think that's a huge value. I kind of just slipped my mind and didn't really sink in until I turned it on, and I caught myself looking down at the unit, which had, you know, the spin numbers and even had the impact position on the club. I just think that that's a huge added built-in value that I didn't think much about. So I wanted to point it out to you guys, but here's something I forgot. And I just was moving fast. I was excited, obviously. So I forgot this side zipper right here and what that has inside of it. This has your reflective alignment stick, all right? Just very simply goes together, has like some bungee cords inside, all right? And I'm going to show you guys how to align the unit. Very simple to set up. And I think that's another key factor that I want to point out. From taking this thing out of the bag and setting it down, I was hitting balls within minutes. It auto levels, all right? It auto aligns to where you have it, and then you can just do a simple alignment with the stick. It has a built-in barometer. I looked at the elevation I had set at, and it was literally within a few feet of what I know my local airport about 10 miles away is, which I thought was amazing. It has a built-in thermometer, all right, for temperature. Really does some awesome stuff, all right? So let's go ahead and put that aside. And that's the thing. I hope you guys understand that I am just scratching the surface of what Foresight Sports is bringing to the table with the GC Quad. I promise you there will be a series of videos where we will go through everything in depth. So if you think I'm missing something on this video, I can assure you that I'm trying to give a brief overview, first look, and then we will go through sections and details. We'll talk more about the technology, all right? You know I listed off some of it, but we're going to go through a lot of that in detail, and we'll go through more data parameters, talk about each data parameter, and the different software available, you know, more and more. So just understand that. But let's show you how easy it is to set this up. I'm going to use the kickstand, just kind of like a safety feature. It even has a hole. If you're permanently mounting, you could put a screw down in, okay, to hold it from tipping over. But approximately 22 inches, okay, from your center point, you'll lay the quad. And I'm going to show you why that's just an approximate number, and you don't have to worry about other than turning it on and having an instant view on the screen. It's going to boot up. It takes a few minutes to boot up. Not a few minutes, I should say seconds. It goes power, then it boots up computers, boots up the cameras, goes through diagnostics. It's already ready to go. So it's showing me a hitting zone, which I will show you in the software. Okay, I don't have a camera on the quad today. We can do that another day. We'll go over, you know, what all it shows on the screen. Okay, I'm going to set my ball down where I'd like to hit from, and it shows me right on the screen before I even hook up to the software that I'm good to go. All right, that's well within this large hitting zone, which is 14 inches by 14 inches if you're using club head data, and then 14 inches wide by 18 inches long if you're using ball data only. Very large hitting space, which is, I really like that. All right, next thing you're going to do in your simulator environment, you do want to be dead square to where you're aiming. So I'm just going to set this alignment stick down right square. A little beep just went off in the machine saying that it is now aligned. Okay, and it says just remove the stick when done. Removing it from the view, it's now aligned. Now that's how easy it would be if you were out on the range, you set this down and you were firing off some balls, and then you wanted to start targeting at a flag. All you have to do is set that down, aim it right at the flag, it's locked onto the flag, it's realigned, you're good to go. I think that's really cool. And it can do it at a large angle. I don't know the angle right off the top of my head, but it's quite a significant angle that you can align it to. So now I'm going to connect it to my computer via Wi-Fi, and I'll show you how easy that is. Let's go ahead and take down our swing camera so I'm not blocking anything. I'm just going to pull up my window. I'm going to go down here, and I already typed in the password, which is really simple. All right, well, we won't share it right now, but I'm just going to hit connect, drop down that window, and then I'm going to go in the upper right up here, which is the settings. Okay, this is where you would log into your FSX Live account. Now, since this is just for demonstration purposes, we're not going to worry about that today, but that is where you would log into your FSX Live account, where it can store data in the cloud. All right, very cool stuff. That's a whole nother video. We can't even go over that today. This would be a marathon. Let's go into settings. I'll just kind of give you guys a brief overview of this. This is where you'd set up all your graphics. You can do windowed or full screens. You can have dual displays, all right, to display multiple windows. You can have your graphics quality. I have mine in full graphics. Now here's your on-screen data. That's where you're going to select if you want the mini map to show, location on display, flag to zoom, tracers. All right. You can either turn them all on or the last only, or just have them off. Okay. You can see all your different enable or disable. You can write shots to CSV. There's so many things. Now over here in the shot data to the right, you can see I set video to 5 seconds. That's because I hooked up my Logitech Brio USB camera. Any USB Windows recognized web camera will work inside of this software, but they also have certain cameras, high-speed cameras, that they have drivers for that will work as well if you're looking for something high-end. If you want just a general reference with some blur like I have, this is how easy it is to do. Plug it in and set it up, okay? And I can show you what I did to do that. So I just have a couple seconds review on my flight and club time. All right, no review on the table. And then language and units, obviously, if you wanted yards or feet, you know, your languages, volume, you can turn the commentary voices off. And then here's swing camera. So all you have to do is refresh down here and select anything from the list, all right, that shows up as a USB camera, and I'm ready to go. I have a 640 by 40 resolution, which is small, but I do have 60 frames a second for that Logitech Brio. Unfortunately, it's capable of, I want to say 90, but that's the highest default, and whatever that web camera defaults to is what it's going to use because it's not using a separate driver. All right. Now this is where we're going to hook up the device now. It's going to search because I've already connected to my Wi-Fi. It should show up in the list. There it is. There's my serial number. All I have to do is hit connect. Now it says right here, if I want to, I can auto connect to this device. All right, I can allow left-handed or right-handed players. Let's go ahead and connect. We're good to go. All right, close that out. And there are obviously multiple sections. You have play, where you can go in and play, obviously, simulation on course golf, which we'll show you guys. You have compete sections for online competitions, and skill shots that they have set up, which are just fantastic. And then you have this improved section, which we're going to do today. Like I said, we don't have time to go over everything. I really want to segment stuff so we can go into it in more depth and you guys can understand the full features that it offers. All right, so let me go back because I accidentally went too far. Okay, so here we are. I have new session, last played, random, know your numbers, where you can gap clubs, or the range. We're going to do the range, and then check this out. Okay, you can use the barometer inside the GCQ, okay, to set everything. Or let's say you were going to a course that had high sea level and you wanted to see how things were going to carry. You can adjust that. All right. You can set your temperature outside from what it is at your local area. I'm going to use the barometer inside, okay, which I couldn't even believe how close it was to my local airport. I mean, that's just unbelievable. And then you can actually have wind. You can have different, types of temperature, time of day, fog, your different skies. Really, really cool stuff. I like how they did all that. We're just going to hit start. It's going to take us out to the range. All right, it says that I'm connected. And here we are. Okay, it defaults to a driver, which we're going to switch because I have fiducials set up on a 9-iron. So I'm going to select a 9-iron. And before I forget, why don't I bring the iron over here and show you guys the fiducial setup? I have to turn my swing camera back on, which is probably not a bad idea to do that now before I forget. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and turn that back on. I'll shrink it down a little bit so it's not covering too much. I never want it to cover too much. All right, and let's just bring this back over here for a second, get it to zoom in, and I'll show you guys the fiducials on the club. Let's get, how's this reflection going to work here? Here we go. There we go. All right, so you can see one here, one there, and one there. You can see how these two are making your center point, okay? And then right down at the bottom, right in between the two bottom grooves, and right in between the top two grooves, okay? And then right on the edge, and then on the edge. That's giving you all of your club head measurements, all right, outside from ball data. And let's go ahead. You can actually, there is a 1-dot pattern and a 4-dot pattern. We'll probably go over that in a separate video, but I at least wanted to show you guys that today. You want to use the 4 dots for full data. It limits your data with 1 dot. So we're going to use a premium ball. We're going to use a Titleist Pro V1. I'm going to go into this camera really quick, and we can just go into the legend so you guys can see. You have ball, grid, camera, bird's eye, flag, replay, flyby, green contour, analysis, conditions, and test green speed. All right, it's a lot of stuff that you can select from up here, and we'll try to go over more and more of that as we continue to use the software. But I wanted to show you guys what camera. I was kind of messing with the trajectory views. I like this chase, and I like the exact tracking, and you'll see how that's going to work, okay? But I'm just going to leave the wind at 0, all right, elevation set to 0, and then we're going to need to change our pin, all right, to be for my 9-iron. I'm not going to be cranking at them, so I think I'll just go for like 140 yards. All right, you can hide this map if you want to, which is nice. All right, that's how you hide the map. And other than that, well, I'm going to leave the map up. We should be good to go. All right, guys, so I have my ball here. I'm going to set it down inside the hitting area, which reminds me, I get to show it to you in the software. So when I set that ball down, you'll see the green outline, which is what I was referencing earlier about the onboard screen, what I was looking at, making sure I had the unit set up right. It has that same outline right on the screen, shows you the ball location. Super easy to reference, okay? Obviously has it inside the software as well. So I have to take a little off my 9-iron for 140 yards. Let's see what I can do here. All right. Hit a few shots for you guys to show you the data and all the information available, and like I said, scratching the surface of what we'll bring you with the GC Quad. Not a bad first shot. I'll take that. Says I was into out and closed. That's me. I mean, I'm working hard at it, but it's definitely not corrected. I mean, my swing is in progress. That's why I'm so excited to have this device to work on with my coach. 9 feet from the pin though. So here goes, it goes through all the tabs. The video tab first, which I had set to 5 seconds. And then the ball tab, the club tab, all right, all doing 3 seconds, and then it comes back. Remember I left the traces on? That's why you're seeing the traces. And if you'll notice, I'll point this out because I've pointed this out in other software. I really like, so I configured my room size inside the FSX 2020 software. And notice how where the ball hits, it starts on the screen. I literally can see the indent from the last shot, and that's where it started. That's one of those things that I like. I think that's cool. I mean, there's different software I've shown that does that, and I don't know, it's something about how the ball just takes off. You can see how instantaneous the shot is. You know, how it takes off, you know, through the screen almost, you know. Very cool. That's just something that I appreciate. So let's see if I can get this a little corrected here. I hit that thin. I'm looking right on the screen right now at that last shot. That's what's so nice. I don't even have to look up. Launch angle, I pushed it 3.3 to the right. I hit it thin on the club face. I'm looking at my smash factor, my club path, face to path, angle of attack, it's all there. Spin, 83, 84. It wasn't too bad. I got it a little closer. A little too far. Still 6 degrees inside out and 5 degrees closed. But I'm giving you guys some good demonstration shots here. All right. I'm going to take you through all the data. We'll hit one more shot, and then I'll show you guys kind of every tab and what it has to offer. Okay. I'm not going to go crazy because I'd like to do it more in segmented videos. I knew that one was thin again. Sure enough, a little low on the face. Okay. I appreciate taking those peak certification courses because I know what to look for a little more in depth than I did before. Really, really nice having that. You can see how far I'm starting that ball to the right, and then it has left spin. What was the left spin on that? 521 to the left. So that's that draw coming back. I like having that quick reference data over on the left as well. Angle of attack, 3.7 degrees. See if I can fix this a little bit here. Well, I started it more towards the center. I just think I still closed the face down. Oh yeah, look how much farther it's going. I had a little better impact on the face. All right, wasn't as thin. I started it more towards the center, but I want to say my face was still pretty closed. 148 yard total distance, and that's what's tough for me. This was a tough distance. Left spin that time was 719. All right, and then look at these clusters that are starting now. I'm going to show you guys all that in just a second. All right, I feel like I was going toe down on all those. I could even feel it, and I think we're going to verify that inside the data. So let's check it out. All right, so I'm going to take down my swing camera. I don't think that that would do any justice, you know, being there and blocking anything. So let's take that down. Okay, let's go up here to our analyzer. All right, those 3 lines right there that look like some trajectories, ball trajectories. We're going to click that, and that's going to bring up our first one, which is the video. All right, and that's me using the Brio, okay, camera, which obviously is not that amazing. So let's just go ahead and hit play at quarter speed with a Brio camera, and I think that you'll agree that the Brio has a lot of blur. But for $199, you can integrate a swing camera into the system. I'll tell you what, that's pretty cool. It's really good reference. I mean, I can get you know, what I need out of that just for basic reference. I'm sure a coach could get a lot out of it. If you want the higher speed cameras, they have integration for those. It's a much higher frame rate and much higher shutter speed, which is going to get you a clearer image, more smooth video. Okay, so on this tab, you'll see we have speed, launch angle, total spin, carry, your total distance, push or pull, side spin, descent angle, your peak height, and then how far offline you were. And you can go to ball now. All right, there's your same data we just listed off, but check this out. It gives you a side 2D trajectory view showing you your apex, okay? And then you can see your kind of bounce and roll at the end. And then I really like the overhead 2D dispersion. See how it's creating a cluster down there for me, okay, of my 3 shots. I pushed those first 2 out to the right, tried to correct it on the third one, and I brought it back a little too far left. And of course, when I pull my ball, it always goes a little bit further. Now there is efficiency over here, and I'll go into that at a different time, but that's very cool. You can you know, basically go in and set your min and max for launch angle and backspin and work on efficiency of clubs, okay? That's for a whole nother video. All right, you can do just your side view if you want. You can do just your top view, or you can do both. I think both is a great choice. You can export to PDF or print. Let's go to club first though and look at what happened there. All right, so 4.6 degrees in to out, which is indicated right here. All right, that shows how far in that club was coming from the inside. You can see that I had a 1.3 degree face closure, which was much better, all right, for my face. But, you know, I had a left side spin of 719 due to coming inside out and just being a little bit closed, which caused that ball to go to the left. All right, now you can see here you have face to target or face to path. All right, and that is what indicates that 5.9 degrees, all right, face to target, face to path. All right, so you have 1.3 degrees to target, 5.9 degrees to path. All right, and that is indicated the combination of those 4.6 degrees and 1.9 degrees coming up with those 2 data points. All right, so over here, you can see my attack angle. It says 3.5 degrees downward. All right, and then you can see this loft angle of 36.2 degrees. All right, and I really like how these are indicated easily for you to identify. All right, someone such as myself as an amateur can easily look at these images and see where these numbers are being depicted from. Okay, my launch angle, okay, that's coming from the ground plane, and that's where the ball is launching, 24.3 degrees. All right, and it had a backspin of 76.11. Now this is where things get really interesting. I knew I was going a little toe down, but see my impact points there. Your red line is your center. I was better on that. I got that ball up a little bit on the face. The sweet spot is actually just slightly below center. So that wasn't too bad. All right. For me, I'd love to get that ball up just a little bit, but you can see a couple of my shots, I was in the vertical center point, which is really nice. I just need to get that toe maybe a little more, level to ground plane, in my opinion. Now, once again, I've mentioned this several times in my videos. I'm reading off the data points and I'm talking about my own personal points here, guys, but I am not a PGA professional. You need to go to your PGA professional, your swing coach, to go over data points like this and to learn, because, I can make mistakes. I can say something that could be incorrect. I'm trying to demonstrate the hardware and software. All right. And like I said, I've taken the peak certifications. I'm learning as much as I can so I can share that with you. But I always want you guys to consult with a PGA professional or your swing coach. Now you can see the spin axis here was 5.4 degrees left, causing that ball to draw. All right. I like the table as well. That gives you, all right, all of your different points up here, these are all ball data points, all right, and then it gives you your averages, and then the average or your standard deviation, okay, between your shots, all right. So if I go up here to this tab, you can see that there is the club data, all right. So I can go back to ball, or I can go to club. First, let's go through the ball data points. You can see that there's launch angle, side angle, backspin, side spin, descent angle, how far offline I was. All right, there's those two that go to the right, the one that went to the left. Here is your height, all right, your apex in yards, your carry in yards, and your total in yards. All right, and then my distance to my pin. All right, I got within 9 feet that time. I'll tell you what, for an amateur like myself, I'd love to get my shots within 9 feet. Unfortunately, if you look at my deviation, I was had quite a bit of difference between my shots, but that one within 9, that was pretty good. All right, so let's go to club data real quick. And down in the table here, you can see you have club speed, my smash factor or efficiency, angle of attack, club path, face to target, my lie angle, all right, which I was actually really toe down on a couple of those shots. I corrected that a little bit, all right. And then my loft, my closure rate, which is a discussion in its own. That's a advanced data point that I don't know how many people might pay attention to. It's advanced data. Let me tell you, I've been learning about it, and I'd rather not speak on it at this time. I'll give you guys some more insight on that later. Okay, and then your face impact. Okay, lateral and vertical where it hit. All right, and then here's face to path. It changes that column. Okay, so. This is just scratching the surface. All right, let me pull my camera back up for you guys. There we go. Perfect. I'll get that just a little bit bigger. This is scratching the surface of what I'm going to bring you guys with the Foresight Sports GC Quad. All right, I like doing videos like this because I take the unit out of the box that it arrived in, okay? Open it up, show it to you guys on the fly, learning about it for the first time, all right? And then setting it up, hitting shots inside the software, going over it all with you guys, all within the matter of a couple hours. And it shows you that, an advanced unit such as the Foresight Sports GC Quad can be operated by someone such as myself from package to shot, in a short period of time and done very easily. And that's why I kind of like doing the videos this way, just to get things started. A first look video and review of the GC Quad. All right, so one thing I want to bring up to you guys, I established connections for all of my viewers. I do it for all of the hardware and software. If you're considering a Foresight Sports product, whether it be the GC2, all right, or with HMT, or whether it's the Foresight GC Quad, I want you guys to shoot me an email, okay? I want to help guide you. I'm going to connect you with the proper people to make sure you're getting the best price, the best information, and it's going to work inside of the environment that you're considering, using it in. Okay, so I want you to learn about the hardware and software the right way and get all the information you need. And I have that communication set up, all right, already, so you can send me an email right down in either the description or the comments. I always pin it below. And please subscribe if you haven't yet. I hope you guys appreciated this first look video at the Foresight Sports GC Quad. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll talk to you soon.